Right now, the Storm Prediction Center has drawn a 1,200-mile severe weather corridor across 4 states for Friday and used the word uncertain multiple times in the discussion explaining why it won't upgrade it. As a developing storm system ejects east from Baja California, the corridor stretches from middle Texas coastal areas through southeastern Louisiana, across the Florida Big Bend, and into adjacent southwestern Georgia. On Tuesday morning, the federal forecasters declined to elevate the area to a marginal or slight risk category, citing magnitude and coverage that remain too uncertain for a categorical upgrade. Nationally, 304 tornadoes have been confirmed through mid-April, 204 of those in March alone, the third most active March on record. Forecasters warned that Friday's system arrives in the same calendar week that produced the deadliest tornado outbreak in modern American history. 4 states are in the corridor. But here is the detail that should stop you cold. When the Storm Prediction Center issued the day 4 to 8 Convective Outlook from Norman, Oklahoma at 4:23 Central Time Tuesday morning, the corridor had already been mapped to the county level. The forecast identified some threat for damaging wind, a brief tornado or two, and perhaps isolated hail. Then it explained why it would not name the threat. The quote was, "The magnitude and coverage of these threats remain too uncertain for a categorical upgrade at this time." The eastern end of the corridor lands on top of Drought Level 4 of 4, exceptional. The Florida Big Bend designation has expanded westward into Jackson County and eastward across Alachua, Levy, Bradford, Baker, and Nassau counties. Rainfall deficits since October 2025 are running 10 to 15 inches below normal. Stream flows are described in the Florida Disaster Bulletin as extremely low. The same Friday cold front, bringing severe weather to the Texas coast, will deliver scattered showers to ground that cannot absorb them, primed instead for lightning ignition. This was day 1 of the corridor going public. Friday is day 4. The trigger has not yet arrived. Here is how we got here. On Saturday evening, April 25th, an EF4 tornado with winds of 175 miles per hour struck Enid, Oklahoma, the strongest confirmed tornado of 2026 at that point, flattening 40 homes and shutting down Vance Air Force Base. By Saturday night, the outbreak had expanded into Texas. A tornado ripped through Runaway Bay on Lake Bridgeport, 60 miles northwest of Dallas-Fort Worth. Wise County Judge J.D. Clark confirmed in a written statement significant structural damage across multiple neighborhoods, 20 families displaced, numerous injuries, and 1 confirmed fatality. A second death came in Parker County, where a collapsed structure in Springtown trapped at least 2 people inside. By Monday morning, the system had pushed northeast. A 39-year-old man in Kent County, Michigan, was killed by a falling tree. More than 250,000 customers lost power across Missouri, Illinois, Kentucky, Indiana, Wisconsin, and Michigan. The Kansas City Fire Department conducted 11 water rescues before sunrise. By Monday afternoon, a moderate risk, level 4 of 5, was in effect for central Missouri into southern Illinois. A particularly dangerous situation. Tornado watch ran from the Missouri Boot Heel into northeastern Arkansas, southern Illinois, western Kentucky, and western Tennessee until 11 p.m. That brings us to Tuesday. The Friday outlook went out at 4:23 Central, with the Monday system still not fully exited. The atmospheric setup driving Friday begins offshore. A mid to upper level low sitting off the Baja California coast is forecast to eject east as a shortwave across northern Mexico, approaching far west Texas late in the period. Forecast, most unstable CAPE, sits in the 1,000 to 2,000 joules per kilogram range, conditionally favorable for organized convection given the deep layer shear present. Here is what is not making headlines. The corridor for Friday did not appear out of nowhere. It landed on top of a tornado season already rewriting the record books. 304 tornadoes confirmed nationwide through mid-April, 204 in March alone, the third most active March on record. The 30-year average for the entire month of March is around 75. 11 deaths in 2026 came from 2 outbreaks in the first 12 days of March. 3 additional fatalities arrived this past Sunday and Monday, 2 in Wise and Parker counties, Texas, and 1 in Kent County, Michigan. On March 10th, an EF5 tornado with winds exceeding 200 miles per hour carved a 14.6-mile path through Wells County, Indiana. It was only the second EF5 in the United States since 2013. The first one ended a 12-year drought of that intensity. The second came less than a year later. In February 2026, the Storm Prediction Center introduced Conditional Intensity Groups, the first major change to convective outlooks in years. Evan Bentley, warning coordination meteorologist for NOAA's Storm Prediction Center, explained, "High-end severe weather, like intense and violent tornadoes, causes by far the greatest loss of life and property, and this improvement allows us to highlight days when these specific threats are more likely. But the new tool requires a categorical risk call first. CIG flags cannot be issued for a corridor that hasn't yet been upgraded to marginal. The federal forecaster's newest precision tool is silent on Friday's corridor." And here is what happens Friday. The Storm Prediction Center's discussion does not mince words about the ingredients: damaging wind, a brief tornado or two, perhaps isolated hail. Higher severe probabilities may eventually be needed if confidence increases in the development of sustained supercells or organized clusters. If. The wording does not say the storms won't form. It says the SPC cannot yet say they will. The corridor cuts across 4 states with completely different ground conditions on the receiving end. The Texas coast gets the heavy rainfall and possible tornado risk. Southeast Louisiana gets the cold front advance. The Florida Big Bend gets lightning ignition into drought-dry vegetation, plus localized flash flooding on ground that cannot absorb it. Per the Florida Disaster Bulletin, the spotty nature of this activity will make it unable to provide much drought relief. The last time a Friday severe weather setup arrived after a record-breaking March in this same general region, it was the same calendar week that produced April 27, 2011. 360 tornadoes in 26 states in one day, 321 people killed, 240 in Alabama alone. The EF4 that struck Tuscaloosa carved a 6-block wide path through the city, $12 billion in damage. The SPC had issued a high-risk, level 5 of 5, that morning. High confidence, unmistakable atmospheric signal. The corridor for this Friday is drawn across the same calendar week. The federal forecasters are explicitly not predicting a 2011 scale event. They are also explicitly not yet predicting anything categorically at all. Tuesday morning's outlook went out at 4:23 Central. The Friday corridor hits the Texas coast roughly 80 hours later. 4 states on the map. 304 tornadoes already on the 2026 ledger. The federal language hedged, the new precision tool silent. The Big Bend had exceptional drought on the eastern end. Shortwave trough is still off Baja. The moisture is still in place. The categorical upgrade has not been issued, and the 4 states inside the corridor are still going about their Tuesday. If this story is worth telling, subscribe. We cover more of these every week.